Welcome to We Wine Whenever. Grab your glass and join three Jersey Shore housewives, Wendy, Kelly, and Lori, as they dive into everything from Bravo drama to life's everyday chaos. It's unfiltered, it's hilarious, and it's the real talk you've been waiting for, from relationship to pop culture. We drink wine whenever, and we hope you do too. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Cheers!
Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Lori.
We're going to recap Real Housewives of Salt Lake City tonight. Season 6, episode 16. It's the season finale.
Yes.
Before we do that, I just want to congratulate Gina Kirschenheiter from Real Housewives of OC. She got engaged to her longtime boyfriend, Travis.
That's very nice for her.
It is very nice because we've seen her when she first came on the show. She was married. Her husband never appeared on the show. They said it was because of his job. They got divorced shortly thereafter. So it's been quite a journey for her, but Travis seems like a really solid guy. They're like the Brady Bunch. She's got 3 kids, he's got 3 kids, and her
cute.
ex-husband is I don't know if he's remarried, but whoever he's with, his new partner, she gets along with really well. And so it's nice. I'm happy for her. Congratulations, Gina.
Beautiful. Yes, this one's called Sisters of Salt, a Greek Tragedy, which I thought was a really good name.
Great title for this episode.
Great title.
Yeah.
And I loved all the beginning and the moody lighting.
Yeah, well, it opens up with what's to come, and it's basically the Greek tragedy play.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was them.
I
white
thought it was that.
cloaks
Yeah.
with the
I thought it was them
scarves,
too.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it
but
was so
not.
funny because they open up with all that moody blah, blah, blah. And then they do the little scene. I think it's like a beach scene in Greece. And then it says 15 hours earlier. And all I could think of was there's all those different memes that you see. And it's that SpongeBob thing where it's in the voice that says 15 hours earlier. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what
You
you're
know
talking about.
exactly what I'm
We
talking
do
about.
it in my house all the time.
Yes.
When we're waiting for somebody, when somebody is taking too long, we're like 3 hours later.
Yeah. That's all I could think of when I saw that scene. I don't know why.
That is so funny.
It's so funny. And how about when Bronwyn said that Angie is so Greek that she's full of tragedy? Sometimes she's got good one-liners, that one.
Bronwyn definitely does.
Yes.
Mary and Meredith were getting coffee. Angie comes out and Mary's like, oh, to her lip. I'm like, all right. Well, we knew what happened. It wasn't going to look pretty, but I guess maybe in person it was,
Listen, I like Angie. And again, when I say things, it is because I am the epimode of fashion. Right. Okay. But Angie's lips really are very big.
Yeah.
Very big.
Yeah. And I would imagine cut up and bruised. It's even more.
Even bigger. Yeah. So maybe that was
exactly.
Mary's gasp.
Yeah. So Angie tells them that she found a playwright and she's going to write a play about them. And the woman's name is Stella. She's going to come over and meet with all the ladies and see how they feel about each other.
Yeah. So I guess this was already happened she must have came when they first got there.
I thought she was coming that day.
Oh, I thought it was.
I could be wrong.
I could be wrong too. I just got the impression that. I thought they said on the thing a couple days earlier or whatever.
That does make more sense though, because
I think that she
wasn't going to meet with them that day, write a whole thing.
Yeah, no. I think it was when they first got there.
You're right.
Yeah.
But when they were showing the ladies meeting with her, Brittany says she's deep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Lisa's trying to guess what sign Stella is. She's missing every time. And then finally Stella says she's a Pisces. And Lisa was like, I knew you were going to say that. Well, you said so 5 other signs before that.
She was so annoying in that scene because the woman clearly was like, I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here, I'm doing my job.
Yes.
I'm asking you questions about you. And she's just didn't get the hint that this woman is really not interested in interacting with her at all.
Right.
Lisa thought she was being all cute and conversationally. And the woman was just
Well, I think Lisa tries to win people over, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
you know.
But it was just a very big difference between, so first they show Heather, and the woman asks her, I want to tell me some things about you. I want to get to know you. And Heather says, what do you want to know about me? Answers a question with a question and then puts her head down. And then the very next person is Lisa. And it was just such a vast difference because Lisa was like, oh, there's so many words that come into my head. Smart. But the difference between whether Heather's reaction was real or being,
I think she's
playing a
very
part.
theatrical.
Yeah, whatever. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying that the difference was
Yes.
amazing. Yeah, so Heather ended up saying well-spoken. Let's see, Lisa ended up saying smart, intuitive, and was a Sagittarius. And then Bronwyn said quirky, unique. They didn't show Angie getting interviewed at all. Mary said about herself that she's self-aware. Whitney said she's a free spirit. And Brittany said she's happy and deep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And
I
then,
question the deep, but
yeah,
that's okay. That's okay.
it's a big question mark on that.
You say whatever you got to say, Brittany.
Yeah, yeah. And then she asked them to tell her about the other,
Each other.
each other. Yes.
Yeah.
As a group, the way that they showed it, like the answers that they're giving. So they're actually giving, I figured out later that they're actually giving answers in regards to specific people. But when production is showing it, it's presented as just a general answer
Right.
about the group.
Right. Right. But when played back to us with the actresses,
Right.
there's
So
a little bit more explanation there.
Yeah. So Heather says dingbat, lack of justice, and guarded. So again, when they're saying this, we don't know who she's talking about. Lisa says dramatic, and then she tells the lady, just make me cute.
Yeah.
Mary said, I like all except one. Whitney said ego, pride, and martyr. Meredith said, depends on the definition. And Bronwyn says, oh, they have to be nice words, right? And then they didn't show anything from Brittany.
Right. Right. So Bronwyn says seeing Meredith act like she's in a Maybelline ad is disturbing because a few hours earlier, Meredith texted Bronwyn that she wanted to talk, and she was kind of spiraling and saying that everyone's out to get her and basically trying to find out what happened at their lunch. Now, of course, we didn't see this. Production had stopped filming at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And then Whitney and Heather are complaining about Lisa again, saying that they've been asking Lisa to go deep in their friendships for years and now she's saying the same thing to them. I'm so over Whitney and Heather, like constantly talking and complaining about the other women. I'm just over it.
You're like two little yappy dogs.
Yeah, like it's not happening. You're not going deep with Lisa, and Meredith is going to lie. So either you're going to stay on the show and deal with that, or get off the show, because this is what we're dealing with now.
Right. And Heather says Lisa, says that she wants to go deep, but she's the most shallow in the group, which I kind of agree with. And Heather says, be the hippie that we know you are and hug the trees.
Yeah. So this I thought was interesting. Bronwyn went to see Mary, and Mary told her, I don't sleep under the covers because I don't know who's been in those covers. Now, I don't know if you saw this, but Bethany Frankel put a TikTok
Yes, I
up
just saw
about her skin fungus, and she thinks she got it from a hotel in St. Bart's. I believe St. Bart's.
Yeah, and she ain't staying in no broke place.
Exactly. So
I
I thought that this was very interesting timing with Mary saying that.
Well, I will tell you, I like to travel. And anytime that I do, always, always, always bring my own pillowcase. Always. Oftentimes I bring my own pillow. I jam that shit in there. I'll take it with me on the plane and bring an extra pillowcase so I can take the one from the plane off and put a fresh one on and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I saw that.
Damn. Weird timing, right? Bronwyn winds up telling Mary that Meredith was texting her and that Meredith was nervous about what everybody was saying to her.
Yeah, Mary felt like Meredith was being kind of paranoid.
Yes. Yeah. So then Bronwyn goes to talk to Meredith.
Mm-hmm.
And Meredith did not want to talk about this on camera. It was quite obvious.
Quite obvious, yep.
Basically, Meredith lies and says that it didn't happen. And I really can't imagine why Bronwyn would bring it up if it didn't happen.
Yeah,
Just
that
like I
makes no
can't
sense.
imagine why 6 women would say that Meredith was acting crazy on a plane if she didn't.
Yeah. It did feel a little it did feel like she was definitely it did feel like maybe Meredith's, like, really good gaslighter.
100%. Like, I feel like Meredith needs to be put on pause. I really do. I think Meredith needs to step away from the show. She is not admitting to anything, and she's doing things, giving them the opportunity to accuse her of doing a lot of things, and she's just basically saying, "No, I didn't."
Mm.
I
And
mean,
it's interesting because in her confessional, she totally changes it, flips the whole narrative around to say that,
yes.
"No, no, no, that's not what happened." Bronwyn and this didn't even make sense to me. Bronwyn was nervous about the play, and Meredith says that she told her if she recently had, like, a conversation and said something contentious, that maybe something would come up. Like, I was just like, what are you even talking about?" So
Mhm.
that made no sense to me.
No, no sense at all. Bronwyn tells her, "I feel like you're using me and
Mhm,
that you sold me out."
mhm,
And then Bronwyn says, "Good luck with any of these other bitches because they're not gonna have your back like I did."
mhm.
Or did she say that in her confessional? I feel like she said it to her face.
No, she said it to her face,
Yeah, okay.
and she asked and what I really think was interesting is because she said that, she says, "You asked me to come to you off camera." So, because I was thinking to myself, well, why didn't production film this 1 a.m. conversation between these two? But Bronwyn said it then. She said, "You asked me to come to you off camera."
Mhm.
So
Right.
she said, "Are you lying to me? You don't remember, or you're gaslighting the shit out of me? Because right now it's one of the above."
Yeah. And
And
now
then,
they all have to get on the Sprinter van together, and now Meredith is in a bad mood again when she was just happy-go-lucky at breakfast.
mhm,
So everybody's like, "What the hell?"
yeah. So Meredith, like when they were done having Meredith and Bronwyn having a little argument, when Meredith walks off, Meredith says Bronwyn was threatening her. What is she threatening you? Oh, I don't understand what she thought. She just said, "Good luck with everybody else." Like, how is that?
Exactly. It's
What
not
kind of?
it's not a threat.
There's no
That's
threat.
right.
So then we go to meet Angie's cousin. I guess it's her uncle, her father's brother's son.
That's how I read it, yes.
Yes, yes. And did you see how she almost falls again, Angie?
I feel like Angie should just wear flats.
Yes. And how about when she said in her confessional that she needs to, like, up her life insurance the way she's going? And Maris being such a bitch at that lunch too.
That's what I'm saying, like, now all of a
Yeah.
sudden, the switch has flipped, and she's, like, a totally different person than what she was this morning. So I see
Mhm.
what they're saying where it's like, you don't know who you're getting. It could be one person in 15 minutes, another
Be another
person.
person.
Used to work for an attorney like that. And she is an attorney, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting.
So how about when Angie was talking about how her mom had to hide in the basement in the war
Yes.
when she was, like, 8 years old, and her mom, her and her mom had to hide in the basement, and her mom told her, "Be quiet or they'll kill us." And Angie was
Yes.
saying how that trauma came out later on, in alcoholism.
Sure. I mean, that and she said that that's the only story she remembers about her
That's right.
mom. So when she leaves Greece, she leaves feeling like she connected more to her roots, but it's always with her dad's family.
Mhm, mhm.
So, you know,
And did you see Lisa? She was, like, all over that cousin. She was, like, super
again,
friendly. I was just like, "What are you
I
doing?"
think Lisa tries to win people over,
Yeah.
no matter how she has to do it.
Do it, yeah.
Whether she has to be like, flirty with a guy or just, you
Mhm.
know, cutesy with a girl. I
Yeah,
think she just
whatever it
likes to
is.
win people over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they go back to, well, Heather asks Bronwyn, I guess when they were sitting there having lunch or whatever, what happened when they were what happened when they were on the Sprinter van. So Bronwyn tells Heather what Meredith said, and Meredith basically says Bronwyn's lying again.
Mhm. Well, yeah, because they were back in the Sprinter, and then you see production shows and Meredith is saying to Lisa, "I don't know why I'm here." And then you see them talking more in the front of the van, like, because everybody can tell there's, like, this big tension, and then Brahman's like, "I don't care, I'll say it. I'll say what it was. And then she says about it. And again,
So they were back on the van then.
they were back in the van, yeah. But
There
again,
was
you're
like a
right.
lot going on last night when I was trying to watch this and take notes. At one point, I just turned it off and was like, you know what? I'll finish it tomorrow.
Finish it another day, yeah.
Yeah.
So Bronwyn goes off in that sprinter, though, on Meredith. She's like,
Yeah. Good
you
for
know?
her, though.
Yeah. Because she was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like, stop lying. Just stop lying. That's what I mean. I really feel like Meredith I think she needs a break from the show because it comes out later.
It doesn't seem like she's certainly
good
not
time.
enjoying herself.
So this is
I
what I said about,
understand.
not to bring it back to Jersey, but this is what I was saying about Teresa, like the past couple of seasons. She's not having a good time. I know it's a paycheck for her, but she's not enjoying herself and she's making everybody else miserable every scene she's in. And this is what Meredith is now doing. And this is what Tamra does on OC. Like, I know you need the paycheck, but go do something else because you're making the show unwatchable. Meredith makes every scene uncomfortable that she's in.
Yeah, and I understand how people say, oh, it's a witch hunt against Meredith and they're all ganging up against her, blah, blah, blah. But, okay, but if you're that fucking unhappy, then quit.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
quit.
exactly.
Like, you obviously, you tell us all the time how successful and smart and blah, blah, blah. You have this perfect life and you don't really need this. And so then by all means go.
Yeah.
Then
No,
by all
I
means
totally
go.
agree.
Because
Especially because she doesn't even live in Salt Lake City.
right, but you can't blame everything on people coming after you because that's the name of the game with these shows.
And the thing is that you're on a reality TV show and if your other castmates are actually showing their lives and you're not, and then you're lying about what they call you out on, it's like, what are you doing here? You're not doing your job. So why are you here?
Yeah.
If you had a different job and you weren't doing your job, you'd get fired.
Absolutely.
She's not doing her job.
So then they go to the play site, right?
Yeah, they go home
After
to get
that?
ready for the play,
Yeah.
and then they get dropped off at a very remote location. Mary's like, "This looks like a haunted house."
Yeah, Mary was freaked out, man.
Yeah.
And in her confessional, she was all pissed off. She's like, it's another wasted outfit. And Angie says her greatest fear of the night is that whoever's playing her part doesn't have great hair.
Oh my God. She gives each of them a mandilla?
A scarf. It was a long scarf.
Yeah, with a certain color.
Yes.
And then the actresses come out to act out the play, and they have respective colors to the housewives.
Yes. And I love how in the very beginning of the play, okay, when the actresses come out and the actresses have on matching scarves to the scarves given to the housewives, there's like I don't know what you call it, an orator. That could be the wrong word. A person who is reading the story of the play.
I think that's Stella. I think that's the one who wrote it, right?
No, that was not the lady who wrote it.
Okay.
That was a different girl, but she was speaking the play. And so she says it all started with a whisper. And when she says that, the character that's in the very front is Lisa. I don't know if you caught that.
Yes.
Yeah, the character in the front was Lisa.
Yes.
And then she says that Lisa introduces a lunch, and these are keywords, wrapped in peace.
Yes.
So, like, she's calling Lisa out that, like, you're saying that you do things for that, but there's a back door to it. You know what I mean?
Right. And because the season started with her clarity lunch.
Yes.
So Lisa starts talking to Heather in the play.
Yes. And
she says Heather hides behind her humor. And I
Yeah.
think that's very true.
Yeah. She said Heather is a deflector.
Mm-hmm.
She laughs. She said, Mary to Heather, right? You're a joke.
Oh, I thought it was Lisa. Oh, wait.
No, it was Mary to
Mary?
Heather. Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
You're a joke wrapped in mascara. You act like nothing touches you, but everything does. And you laugh because crying would make you real. You hide behind your humor like it's armor. Laughing loud enough to drown out what you mean to say. Behind every joke is a shadow demon you're too scared to say out loud. I thought this lady's was really good.
Yeah, that was spot on. That was
Mhm.
spot on. And then Heather says to the Bronwyn character, "You're not two-faced, you're no-faced."
Yeah, you're no face. And then they flash back to Lisa telling the playwright that Bronwyn has one face she lets everybody see and one face she hides. And then they go back to the play and she says, "You want to be trusted. You treat loyalty like a party favor, cheap and easy to toss. You collect secrets like trinkets, trading them between scissors, good God, sisters under the guise of concern, but always leaving damage in her wake." Thought this was really spot on with all the girls.
Yeah, for sure. And then, wait, that was to Bronwyn. So then Bronwyn says, "I didn't write anything down that they said to each other."
Yeah, I wrote it all down. Then it's Bronwyn to Lisa. "You wear your wealth like a shield. You carry yourself like a queen amongst servants." And then they flash back to Heather describing Lisa. So Heather said, "She's elite. She's better and cooler and richer than us." And then they go back to the play and it says, "Speaking to your sisters not as equals, but women forever beneath you on your marble pedestal. If only you were capable of an apology. But then you would have to say, 'I was wrong.' But that would mean being lesser. And humility is the only thing you can never afford." Damn. And then Lisa to Angie, "Daggers lie beneath your tongue." And then they flash back to Bronwyn when Bronwyn says, "When she loves you, but when she hates you, run." And I was like, I kind of say
Yeah,
that
they
about
flash back
myself.
to a couple of things she was saying,
Yeah.
Angie, and she did, she can spit it out.
Yeah. And then they say about Angie, "Voice sharp, slicing so foolish in your thirst to be the best that you're left alone with nothing but the echo of the damage you've caused." Again, I thought that was really good.
Mhm.
And then Angie to Brittany, "When you speak your words, it sounds like childish noise." And then they flash back to Lisa saying she's chasing butterflies and ladybugs in her head 20. Yeah, that was funny. And then it goes
That was funny.
back to the play. "But worst of all, you cling to the attention of men like it's your lifeline, so consumed by a man's attention that you barely notice your children quietly fading into the background." And then they flash back to when her
Harsh.
daughter says, "I want you to want to spend time with me over somebody you're dating, not dating, who knows." So, yeah. And then Brittany to Mary, "You speak with a blade sharpened by truth." And they flash back to Brittany saying, "I really, really want to love her, but I feel very judged," in regards to Mary. Back to the play, "Your words offer sting despite your conviction." And then they show when they were on the yacht and Mary says to Meredith that you're boring and all that stuff. So they flash back to that. And then she says, "You must learn that even the righteous must bend, for without forgiveness, your conviction becomes a cage." I just thought she was really good, this playwright.
I thought she was really good. I'll tell you what, when they flash back to Lisa talking to Stella and she asks her about Whitney, and Lisa said putana,
I was like,
where I come
"Oh."
from, them's is fighting words.
Them's is fighting words, absolutely.
That's a very mean thing to say. You're
Yeah,
basically calling her a whore.
yeah, like a like a like a dirty. It's
Exactly.
bad, it's like low level horror, yeah.
Somebody told me one time, I don't know, did you ever have puttanesca sauce?
Mhm.
It's it's an Italian red sauce. So somebody told me one time, and I don't know if this is true, I should fact check it before I even say it, but that name puttanesca sauce came from because a husband would come home, but his wife was out whoring around all day, and he would be looking for his dinner, and she would just throw whatever she had in the pot and make a quick sauce because she didn't have time because she was sleeping with somebody else. I don't
'Cause
know if
she was
that's
too
true.
busy being a putana, so she made some putana
Exactly,
sauce.
exactly. I gotta fact check that.
Yeah,
But I
that's funny.
couldn't believe Lisa said that word about
Yeah,
Whitney. I mean, this is a married woman with children.
I know, that was a little
That was
yeah,
harsh.
that was harsh. So then Mary says to Whitney, the character of Whitney, we feel compelled to dismiss you as shallow, a flirt, a body without a mind." And then they flash back to Lisa, and that's where you say, like, she calls her the putain.
Woo.
And then let's see.
I think it ends there, and then they
Yeah, I
drink
think
their
it does
truth
end
is like
there.
poison, and all the actresses fall.
Yes.
And then the orator, is that the word?
Yes, I believe so.
I have it. I have written down moderator, but clearly
I
that's
think
not
it's the
the right
same.
word.
Yeah.
She says, "You're no one without your sisters."
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
Brittany's
she
like,
said,
"Whew, that was quite the tragedy."
yes. Yeah, she says, stripped of rivalries, stripped of voices that ever only truly knew them. The truth was revealed. Yeah, you're right. You're nothing without your sisters. Yeah. And Heather says that they nailed it. She says, we're so good at projecting this image, but if we can't be real and vulnerable with each other, we're wasting our
Yeah.
friendship.
Yeah.
And Angie says she got from it that she felt like your sisters make you who you are, and without them, you don't really have anything.
Bronwyn
I
said
don't.
she was horrified. She has a deep issue with people not being loyal to her, but she's not loyal to them either. And then she does say Todd has been disloyal to her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, there are moments where I feel for Lisa. Like, she starts to cry, and basically she says that it made her sad to hear that she hides behind her things, but she's just proud of her accomplishments. And she's also constantly disappointed in herself, which is very surprising to
Yeah,
hear.
which is very surprising. But see, I think that is part of the issue also with Meredith. And I felt this a little bit with Mary too. Brittany really didn't speak much, but at least I felt in this instance that Heather, kind of, sort of, but definitely Bronwyn, definitely Lisa, those two really stepped up to the plate with owning what was said about them and how others thought about them.
No,
Like,
totally.
and Lisa said that there was, let's see, growing up, that she felt like she was responsible for her younger sisters.
Yeah.
But this is the thing when she said, there's a lot expected of me because of who I am. And I was thinking, oh God.
I know. She gets you, and then she loses you.
And then she just as quickly as she got you, it's fucking gone.
And then Meredith says that she was trained to use her words cautiously. They can bring joy and they can bring pain. She's very sensitive and easily hurt. She's afraid of betrayal. Now, personally, I think we're talking about Seth now. I mean, so at this point, Heather brings up the issue between Meredith and Bronwyn. And then Whitney, here's a good example of Meredith kind of opening up a little bit and saying things. And then Whitney and Heather getting involved and making it take a left turn.
Messing it all up.
Yeah, because I feel like, okay, so Heather brings up the issue between Meredith and Bronwyn. Maybe she felt we're getting a vulnerable moment with Meredith. Let's see where this can lead us. But as soon as Whitney starts talking with her little girl voice, it's like Meredith shuts down. So Meredith gets up and walks away, basically, because Whitney brings up her wanting to know about the lunch.
But isn't that what she does every single time?
All the time. She actually comes back, and then Mary kind of sets her straight and says, we're all concerned about you. We think you're spiraling. And that's exactly what we talked about at lunch.
Yeah.
She says, you're not okay. And Meredith says, I am okay.
But this is the thing. If I worked with 5, 6 people and they all said the same thing to me, I would be concerned and I would be self-reflective and I would be like,
at least at this point, self-reflect.
Yeah, I would really want to sit down and be like, okay, I'm like really, because if it really wasn't true, I'd be like, okay, so then I think it's really important for me to sit down with you guys and for you to tell me what you think and I can discuss it, because I wouldn't just be like, nope, there's nothing. Bye.
Right.
Like,
right. You're wrong.
You're
wrong.
I couldn't do that. I'd be like, okay, so if this really isn't, if all these things aren't true and there's really nothing wrong and you were my friends, I'd be like, okay, so I want you to tell me what it is that you think, and maybe I can clarify some things for you. Like maybe, but I would never just be like, nah,
Right.
that's not it.
No, but this is what she does because she's doesn't want to talk about what's really going on. She does seem very unhappy. And I can only imagine it's got something to do with her marriage.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, Whitney does say she's sorry she called her the names she did, but it comes from experience with her family. And then Bronwyn tells Meredith that she's had things go on in her marriage. Meredith is like, my marriage is stronger than ever. And then Bronwyn tells her that she saw Seth with a woman in New York.
Yeah, I
And
didn't think that was the best move. It
I
was
don't
not the
think so
best move
either, not in front of
on
everybody,
no,
because
and not at that point. It was gonna serve no purpose. It was
and
just
Lisa's
not
like,
a good
this is
idea.
why she's so closed off. You're basically, they're basically accusing Seth of being with another woman. So Meredith storms off again, and Whitney goes after her like, Whitney, you are
Yeah,
not
what
the
is wrong
one.
with you? Yeah,
You're
no.
not the one. And she's so aggressive with it. Like
Yes.
Lisa was trying to pull her away. She was like moving Lisa's hand away from her, like, back off. You're the last person she wants to talk to right now. You're not going to, there's nothing you can say or do right now that's going to get Meredith to talk to you. So back off.
Right. Yeah, no. It's just Whitney doesn't read the room well.
No, not at all. But I did like when Bronwyn said there was a time on this trip that I was worried about Meredith, but looking perfect is more important to Meredith. And that
Yes.
is the damn truth.
Looking
Meredith just
perfect
wants
and not
everybody to,
taking accountability is more
yes,
important to her than her friendship with us. Yes.
absolutely.
Than being friends with us. Absolutely.
I've said it for years. Meredith has not shown us one tiny inch of her real life. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I mean, basically that's it. And then they do the recap. Heather's enjoying her empty nest. Lisa continues to talk to trees.
Well,
Meredith
yeah.
is opening up a caviar bar in addition to her fake DJing.
Yes.
Angie is not yet a Greek citizen, but Bronwyn is an American citizen, and Gwen and Muzzy are still living with her. Mary hopes Robert Jr. finds his way, and so do we.
So do we, yes. I love it how when they said Lisa continues to talk to trees, which convince her that she's a good listener despite what John says. I was like, production.
I love those little recaps at the end because they always do get very snarky.
Yes, so funny. So funny.
I've never seen Andy Cohen walk off of a reunion, and he does next week. I mean, he's Andy Cohen, so maybe he just wants in on the theatrics, but
On the theatrics, yeah.
because there have been reunions, primarily Jersey, which is why they didn't have a reunion for the last season, because they saw the writing on the wall, where Melissa and Teresa are yelling at each other so bad. One was Melissa and Teresa, one was Margaret and Teresa, and he screamed, shut up. He had totally lost control. So I guess maybe he reflected on that and figured if this ever happens again, because he's accused Lisa Barlow of over talking him multiple times. And yeah, I'll just leave. And he does. Yeah.
So we shall see.
I'm wondering if we're going to get a 3-part reunion out of this.
I believe it did say it was 3 parts. I believe
3
I did.
parts.
I did say that I did hear that it was 3 parts. So now I watch this one with you guys, and I watch Beverly Hills,
Mm-hmm.
and say what you want about Salt Lake, but I definitely feel like you really kind of get in with the characters. Like they let you in.
Yeah.
On a
Well,
lot
other
of-
than Meredith.
Other than Meredith, yeah. But you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, I think that you really see some things that are like when Lisa was crying at that play and admitting those things, I don't feel like that was acting.
No, I don't either.
You know what I mean? So I feel like you still get some of those little moments that aren't hyper produced. Like I feel
Yes.
like Beverly Hills is just like a lot of fluff. It's fluffy.
I mean, look at who you're dealing
Fluff,
with.
yeah.
You're dealing with actresses, basically.
Right.
Or
right.
people who have been on TV or, like Rachel Zoe had her own reality show. Kyle Richards is a trained actress.
Right.
you know.
Oh, so did you see that she supposedly bought some big mansion in Tennessee?
I did. That's interesting, isn't it?
Very interesting.
Right after pictures surfaced of she and Mo on New Year's Eve watching a movie or something like that.
Yeah.
Which, from what I understand, they all go skiing. I don't know if it's Aspen. Do they go to?
I believe so.
I don't know.
Yeah.
for the holidays. So they probably were there with their girls. So, I mean, just because they were sitting there watching a movie together doesn't mean
Doesn't
they
mean
hooked up
anything.
or anything.
Yeah.
But somebody had a New Year's Eve party, I forget, and they were there. And they said, like, people were saying that they were getting cozy with each other, but whatever. So even if they did hook up, they're still
Yeah,
legally
they're
married. Good
married.
for
Yeah.
them. I
It's
mean,
like,
people have needs.
yeah. So, whatever.
Yeah.
If it's a marriage that's separated and then with benefits, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did. I enjoyed this episode of Salt Lake. I thought that the playwright was very talented. I felt like she really got all of them. And I did like how Lisa and Bronwyn really owned up.
Yeah.
And Meredith too, to an extent, she did. She did kind of say, I mean, she didn't admit to it, but she did agree. Yes,
Yeah.
I've been trained in words and, I'm afraid and I'm very sad. You know what I mean? So at least she kind
Yeah.
of opened up and showed some emotion. Um, but I don't feel like Mary heard anything anybody had to say. I don't
No.
think Heather heard anything anybody had to say about her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't feel
Yeah.
like I don't even feel like Angie necessarily took in what was being said. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I did enjoy Lisa's response and Bronwyn's response. I thought were really, really honest and
Yeah.
so
Taking accountability.
yes. And
I
at
thought it
least
was a good season. I really did think it was a good season. So we'll see. We'll see what the reunion brings.
I'm exhausted even thinking about it.
I know.
Honest
It's a
to
lot.
God,
It's a lot. It's always a
I'm
lot
exhausted even thinking about it.
for them and for us.
Yes. All right. So
So,
I think that's it, right?
yeah, we're
We're good.
good.
We're good. All righty.
All right. Please like and subscribe and follow and 5-star reviews.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.